Hello everyone. Welcome to Microsoft SQL Server practical tutorial. I'm a trainer of Uplatz. In today's practical tutorial, we're going to execute a couple of examples on views, and also we are going to see what is the difference between table and view. And then we're going to explore more on the types of views. What are the different types of views that are available in SQL Server Studio? And then if you want to retrieve the information of a view, then what are the commands to be executed? That is, we are going to see some of the commands that are used to see the different information of the views. So let's get started with the tutorial. So basically, what are views? View is a window of virtual table which will allow related users to view and modify related data. And what are the advantages of using view? View provides the security and it improves the performance of a query. Network traffic gets reduced and it shortens the SQL queries, supports to perform DML operations on related data, and it supports to generate summarized reports fastly. So these are some of the examples of some of the advantages of using views. And then differences and all we have seen in the theory tutorials already. So let's directly jump on to the examples. And before going on to the examples, let me write the types of views. What are the types of views? Types of views. Simple view. First one is simple view. Simple view. Second one is check option view. Check option view. Third one is complex view. Complex view. Fourth one, index view. Index view. So these are the different types of views that are available. And first, we are going to see the simple view. Simple view. Examples. Before we start with the simple view, basically simple view is a view that is created on a simple query. What it is exactly simple query means, like here we are going to create a view on the query where that query does not contains aggregate functions or group by class, group by function, and distinct operator and mathematical expression. So basically, we are going to apply query. We are going to apply view. We are going to create view on the simple expression, simple query. So now I'm going to write a syntax for the view. Oh, syntax for creating a view. Syntax for creating a view as follows. Create view, and then view name, and with encryption, with encryption, or with schema binding, and then as select query, we have to write select query, and then with check option. With check option. So this is the syntax for creating a view. This is the syntax for creating a view, and with encryption or with schema binding, that we are going to see in our upcoming sessions. I mean, like in the upcoming examples, we are going to discuss about what is with encryption or with schema binding. And here we are using the as keyword as select query. We are going to write the select keyword. And in case if it includes any condition, then we are including that condition with the help of a with check option keyword. Okay. And with check option also, we are going to see in detail about this when we study about check option view type view. So basically, the syntax is follows, like we are using create view statement, and then name of the view we have to mention, view name we have to mention, and then with encryption or with schema binding as, and then select query, and later we are using check option with check option. So this is the syntax for creating the view. So now we are going to create a simple view. Create view V1, create view V1 as select star from view as select star from employee table. Okay. So the V1 is already exist in the database. That is the view V1 is already exist in the database. Let's keep it as a V11. V11. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute this query. Yeah, now the command successfully executed. Okay, and now the view V11 is created. So let me execute a query for this. Select star. Let's start. V1, V11. Sorry. Okay. So the V11 view is created, and this view is pointing to the table employee, where the table employee does not contain any records, and these are the records that it is containing: E code, EN, and then M code. Let's try to take another table. Select star one, employee, employee one. Okay, let me create a view on this. V1 to employee one. Okay, and now I'm executing this view. So I have created a view. I have created a view where I'm including all the columns of table employee one in my view V1. So here the view is created on all the columns of the table employee one. And now if we want to see the information about the view, to get the information about the view, then we are going to execute the command sp underscore help, sp underscore help, and then v7, sp underscore help, and then v11. So the command sp underscore help is used to view the information of a particular view. We can see here what information we are getting. What information we are getting. Okay. We are getting the information about the view. That is, what is the what information overview contains. Okay. So here it contains name of the view, and then owner, who is the owner of the view, and then what is the type of the view, created date time, column name, type, and many other information this view contains. Yeah, so like this, we are getting the information of a particular view by executing sp underscore help v11. That is, v11 is what? V11 is the name of the view. Okay. If you want to refresh the view, then what command we are using? Sp underscore refresh view. Sp underscore refresh view. we are using the command we are using sp underscore refresh view. This is the command used. Sp underscore refresh view, and then name of the view V11 or V12. So once we execute this, the command completed successfully. So what is the importance of using this sp underscore refresh view? It is used to refresh the view. And why to refresh the view? Because when we made any changes to the base table, that changes has to be reflected on the view as well. So in order to see the changes that are made on the table on the views, so if we directly execute the view, then we don't able to then we don't see the changes on the view. So we have to refresh the view to see the changes that are made on the table. That we will be seeing in the next sessions. So now we are using a view that is we are executing one query that is delete delete from V1 V2 V1 to where department number is equals to department number is equals to 10. We are deleting the records of the department number 10. So before we delete the records of department number 10, let us see. Let us execute the command that is to fetch the records of employee one table. Yeah, there are a couple of records are there in the table in the department number 10. Now I'm deleting the records of department number 10. So 6 rows got affected. Okay. So what we have done, we have deleted the records of department number 10 by using the view V12. Okay. So now execute the query to fetch the records of employee one table. So now we can see, do we see any department number 10? Do we see any record that belongs to the department number 10 or any employee who belongs to the department number 10? No. The employee record whose department number 10 got deleted. So here we didn't directly delete it from the table employee 1, but we used the view V12. Okay. So V12 is pointing to the table employee 1 only. So what lesson we have to learn here is, whatever the changes we are going to make with the help of view, then whatever the changes we are going to make it on the view, then that changes will be reflected onto its base table as well. And whatever the changes we are going to make it onto the base table, it will be reflected to the view as well, the view that is associated with that table as well. But the point what we have to remember here is, if you want to see the changes that happened on the base table of a particular view, or the view that is associated with the base table, then we have to refresh that view once, and then we are going to see the difference. Then we are going to see the changes that happened on that view after refreshing the view with the help of a procedure sp_refresh view. And now update from V1. I'm going to execute one more query. Update from V1 to update from V1 to where employee name is equals to null. Where employee name is equals to null. Update from E1. Yeah. Date employee name is equals to null. Or let's try to write this query in another way. Update table name update view name, that is V1 to update set employee name is equals to unknown where employee name is equals to. Okay, let's execute this. So the query is executed successfully, but here we can see it is showing 0 rows affected, because all the employee names are written in the employee name column. There is no any column that left blank in the employee table where it is not having any name. So that is why it is showing 0 rows are affected, because there is no employee name where the field value is null. So if any null value was there means then that value could have replaced by unknown value. Okay, that is here we are updating the V1 to view, but once we update the V1 to view, it will also be affected to the base table employee 1. So that is the catch here we have to understand. Now we are using insert command. Insert V1, insert V1, insert V1, and then V12, I can say. And then the column names. Employee number, employee number, employee name, employee name, salary, department number. Values. One zero zero one, 001, and then X. $5,000 and so here we are inserting a record into the view P12 and we are using the columns. We are considering the columns employee number, employee name, salary, department number. Then we are inserting the values, that is 1001 is nothing but the employee number, and X is the name of the employee, 5,000 is the salary of the employee, and then department number 10. We are inserting the department number as a 10. So let's execute this view. So now the one record is affected. So now what I'm doing, now I'm going to fetch the records of table employee. We can see here the table got refreshed. I mean, the table is updated with the new value that we have inserted with the help of a view V12. In the view, we have inserted the value, but it is also affected with the base table of the view. It is associated. So here, the employee number is 1001, and the employee name is X, and that we didn't enter his job. That's why it is taking it as a null value. And then MGR also we didn't enter, that is manager number also we didn't enter. So it is taking the null value. Hire date also null, and salary we have entered as a 5,000. That's why it is taking it as a 5,000. And the commission is null here. And the department number we have entered it as a 10. Previously we deleted all the employees who are working under department number 10. But here we are entering the department number 10 for this employee X. So like this, we can perform insert, update, and then delete operations on the view. And once these operations are performed on the view, that will be affected to the base tables that a view is associated with. That we have to remember. Next, another example. Alter table, alter table, alter table, employee 1, employee 1, and then add experience integer. So what I'm doing here, I'm adding a new column called experience, which is of type integer, to the table employee 1. with the help of a alter command. So I'm writing the query alter table employee1 add experience as an integer. So now let me execute this query. And remember, I am adding a new column to the table employee1. Yeah, now the command completed successfully. Let us execute the table employee1. Yeah, now we can see the column, new column experience is created. Okay. Experience is created here for the table employee. So now what we have to do? So now let us execute the view that is associated with the table employee1. Select start from select start from let's start from employee 1 2 sorry select start from view 1 2. Yeah, now the view 1 2 v12 is executed, and we can see here the columns of the view that is as it is associated with the employee 1 table, but here we are not able to see the experience column when we executed the view 1 2. Why so? Because we didn't refresh the view 1 2. So let me refresh the view 1 2 and check what result we will get. Okay, now after refreshing the view 1 2, we are seeing the message that command completed successfully. That means view view 1 2 is refreshed successfully. Okay, it is refreshed successfully. So now execute the view 1 2 and let's check what result we will get. That is whether the newly added column to the table employee1 experience is reflecting in the view or not. Let's check it. Yes, now we can see the column experience where we have not inserted any value into the experience column. That is why it is showing all the field values as a null. Okay, so what lesson we are going to learn here is whatever the changes we are going to make it to the base table. Okay, whether it's adding a column or deleting or updating, whatever it is. If you want to see the same changes on the view means, then before we executing the view associated with the table, first we have to refresh that view, then only we will be able to see the changes made on the base table. Now we are going to see another example, which is completely different from the previous example that we have discussed. We are going to create a new view, create view, create view, that is, let me call it as a V13 as select top 5, select top 5, select top 5, and then select top 5, select top 5, and then employee number, then employee name, salary, department number from employee from employee 1 order by salary. Order by salary. So this is another example that we are creating here on the view, that is create view 13. So we are creating a new view called V13 as select top 5. So we are using the top keyword here. So we have to remember here one point. When we were using order by class, top keyword is must. That is in the case of creation of view, when we are creating a view, we have to keep in our mind that order by class, for order by class, top keyword is must and should. Okay, let me execute this query. So create view V13 as select top 5 employee name, salary, department number from employee 1 order by salary. So here I'm not using all the columns of the table employee 1, but here I'm using only employee number, employee name, salary, department number. That too I'm listing the top 5 employees and their details. What details I'm listing there? I'm listing the employee number, name, salary, and then their department number. And I'm going to order the employee records based on their salary. So by default, it will be arranged in the descending order. So the command is executed successfully. So now I'm going to see what the view V13 contains. Select star from V13. Select star from V13. So we can see the top 5 records, from the table employee, and we have already chosen the column names as an employee number, employee name, salary, and then department number. I'm going to create another view called V14, create view V14 as an select employee number, select employee number, employee name, department number from employee 1, where department number is equals to 20. So this is the new view that I'm creating. This is the new view I'm creating here. That is create view V14 as select employee number, employee name, department number from employee 1, where department number is equals to 20. That is, I'm creating a view that contains only department number 20 records. And it contains on the columns, that is it contains only the relevant columns. What are those relevant columns here? The relevant columns here it contains is employee number, employee name, and then department number. Okay, so let's execute this query now. Yeah, now the command got executed successfully. So let us view this view. That is, let us see what this view contains. Select star from V14. We can see here it is showing only the employees who belongs to the department number 20. It is displaying the records of the employees. Okay, it is displaying the information of the employee who belongs to the department number 20. Their employee number, employee name, it is displaying. Okay. Next, we are going to see some example on check option view. View example. So check option view, basically it is option that is associated with a view. Then it will check the condition specified at the where class before data is inserted or updated into the base object. So before we insert or update the data into the base object, we are going to check the condition. We are going to check the condition that is written in the where class. Okay, so that is called as a check option. Okay, so now we are going to write one example for this. Create view, create view V4, create view V4 as select employee number, employee name, employee number, employee name, from employee where department is equals to 10. Department is equals to 10 with check option. This is very important. We have to mention check option. Then only the check option will work. So we have to remember employee 1. So now the error is gone because employee contains the different columns. That is why it was throwing the error. So now I change the name from EMP to EMP1. So now the errors are gone now. So this is the syntax here actually. Create view V4, V14, or I can say V15 as select employee number. Okay, as select employee number, employee name from employee 1 table where department number is equals to 10. After that, we are mentioning the with check option keyword, with check option keyword. By this, we can understand that we are creating a with check option view we are creating here. Okay. After where class, what we are using with check option we are using. Okay. So let's execute this view. So now the query is executed successfully. Select star from V1 file. Select star from V1 file. So it is displaying the records that are present in the department number 10. Only one record is present, that is 1001 is the employee name, employee number, and the employee name is X. Okay. So before we insert the data or update the data into the base object, it will check the condition that is written in the where condition. Okay, with by using the option with check option. Okay, so that is what the check option view does. So now we are going to see a couple of examples on the complex view. Complex view examples. Complex view examples. What is complex view? Complex view is completely opposite to the simple view. What and all options we are not including, what and all classes or the function that we are not including in the simple view, all these things we are including. If any view that contains aggregate functions or group by class, group by function, if it contains distinct keyword or if it contains mathematical expression, then we call that view as a complex view. Okay, now we are going to see a couple of examples on complex view, how a complex view can be created. And one more point we have to remember regarding the complex view. By default, complex view is not updatable view. We cannot update the complex view. That is, it is only readable. That is, we can only read the complex view once we create it. Okay. So let us create some complex views example, complex view example. Create view V1 6 as select department number, and then sum of salaries as total salary from employee table, and then group by department number, group by department number, group by department. So we can observe here we are not using simple query. Here we are not using simple query. Here the query includes aggregate function, and then we are using the group by clause. So we can consider this view that we are creating with the help of this query as a complex view. This is an example of a complex view. Okay. So let's execute this. And what query we have written here? We are writing a query to check the department number wise total salary. Okay, we are writing a query to check the department number wise total salary. We want to display the department number wise total salary. That is why we are executing this query. So to display the department wise total salary, what we are using for calculating the total, we are using the aggregate function sum. Sum, what it will do, sum aggregate function, it will add all the salaries. Okay, it will add all the salaries based on the department. Based on the department means how? Here we are using group by class. That is why we are using here group by class. Group by class, what it will do? Group by class, it will group the employee salaries based on the department number. Here we are mentioning department number. That is why it will group the employee records based on the department number, and it will calculate the total salary of a particular department number. Okay, so the query is executed successfully. Let us see what result we are getting once we execute the view 16 select star from view 16. We can see here the total salaries of the department wise. We can see the department wise total salaries here. Department 10 total salary is what? 5,000. Department 20 total salary is 23,200. And department 30 total salary is what? 93,200. Okay, so this is the view that we have created, which is an example of a complex view. Next example, we are going to write a couple of examples on the complex view. Create view V17, V17, select as select department distinct department number from employee. Distinct, select distinct, spelling was wrong, so distinct department number from employee 1. So here we are selecting the distinct department number from the table employee 1. For that we are creating a view V17. Okay. So basically, once we use distinct keyword, if the table employee 1 contains the duplicate department numbers, then it will filter out all the duplicate department numbers and it will displays only the unique department numbers. For that we have written a view. So we are creating a view on that. So now the command is executed successfully. Let me check the view. Select star so now I'm executing the query. Yeah, we can see here it is giving the distinct department numbers. Okay, so now again we are going to see another examples. Create view V18 as select employee name, job, salary, and then salary into 12 from employee 1. From employee 1. So here we are creating a view ONET. So this view ONET is created to get the annual salary of the employees along with the information employee name, job, salary. So that is the reason why we are creating this view. This view is created to get the employee name, job, salary, and then their annual salary. Okay. Annual. Because in this view, I am using the mathematical expression that is salary into 12. This expression I'm using, but I didn't give any alias for this column. That is why it was throwing the error that column number 4 was undefined. Okay. So now I have given the column alias annual salary. So let us see what this view contains. Select star from V1 So we can see here the employee name, job, salary, and their annual salary. What annual salary they are getting. Okay, the salary is multiplied by 12. Okay, so that is 12 is the months. Okay, 12 months they're getting the salary. That's why it is multiplied with the 12. The salary is multiplied with the 12. So their annual salary is listed in the query. Okay, so this view is created. What is that view? That is V1 gives the annual V1 net shows the annual salary of the employee with the employee details such as employee name, job, salary. Okay. And the next one. So next one, we are going to create view V19 as select employee number, select employee number, employee name, job, department name, and then location, from employee 1, and then department, where employee dot department number is employee one dot department number is equals to department dot department number. So here, what we are doing is we are creating a view V19 for joining the two tables, employee one and then department table. So from employee one, we are using couple of columns, and from department table, we are using couple of columns. With the help of join, we are combining both the tables, employee one and then department table. So in the select query, we can see we are using the employee number, employee name, job, department name, location from the employee one and then department table. So it contains both the columns. That is, employee number is coming from employee table, employee name is also coming from employee table, job also coming from employee table, department name and then location are coming from department table. So now in the where class, we are writing the joining condition. So basically the table, for joining any two tables, we need a common column between both the tables. Here the common column is the department number. So that common column can be accessed by first writing the name of the table that the column belongs to. Here employee one is the name of the column that department number belongs to, that is employee one dot department number. So dot operator is used to access the column of the department, that is department column can be accessed by using the dot operator here. Employee one dot department number is equals to department, that is DEPT, is the table that contains the department number column and it can be accessed by using dot operator. Okay, so now let us execute this query. Yeah, now the command is executed successfully. So this query is written for performing the join operation. So now let us execute the view select star from V19. So now we can see employee number, employee name, job, department name, location. So these three columns, employee number, employee name, job, are coming from employee table, department name and location is coming from department table. So all these columns are combined into a single table. Columns from employee and department are combined to view a single table. That is possible by performing a join operation. So in this query, we are using the join operation. Let us go to the next examples. So if we want to view the query stored in a view, then we are executing the query, then we are executing the command sp underscore help text, sp underscore help text, and then name of the view, view 19. Okay. So we can see the query stored in the view. Okay, we can see the query stored in the view V19 by executing the command sp underscore help text. By executing the procedure, we can say sp underscore help text is the procedure that gives the information of the query that is stored in the view V19. Okay, so this is the text that is stored in the V1A. That is, this is the query that is stored in the V1A view, which we have created recently. Now let us see other examples. To display the metadata of a view, we can use the command sp_help, sp_help, and then name of the view V18. To display the metadata, we can see the metadata of the view V18. Okay. Next, if you want to display the list of views that are dependent on a table, then we can execute the command sp_depends, sp_depends, and then name of the view or the table. Otherwise, I will write the table name first, employee1. We can see here it is showing the name and then type. Okay. Now, if I write the same procedure, sp_depends, and then name of the view, view11. We can see what table is used for the view 11. Okay. If I use V12, it will show V12 depends upon the which table, and its schema also it is displayed. We can observe here dbo.employee1. dbo is the schema of the table employee1, and it is a user created table. Is it updated? No, it is not updated. We didn't update that table. Selected, yes. And the columns, list of the columns, what it contains, that table contains what tables we have, what columns we have derived from that table. Okay. And the next one. So next is encrypted view. So what encrypted view is? When a view is encrypted, it does not support to display the text which is stored in a view. And SQL Server does not support decryption of a view, that we have to remember. To create this view, it should be associated with encryption. The query which is stored in encrypted view can be altered. Okay. So let us write one simple example on the encrypted view. Encrypted view example. Encrypted view example. Create view 20, create view v20 with encryption. This is very important. This keyword we have to mention. Create view v20 with encryption as select star from employee. Select star from employee 1. Okay, select star from employee 1. So here we are creating a example for the encryption view. Okay, let us execute this query. We are applying the encryption for all the columns of the table employee 1 in this view, that is V20. Let us see, select star from V20. So it will display all the columns of the table. So now the table, now the view V20 is a encryption view. Okay, that we have imposed on the table employee 1. On all the columns of the table employee 1, we have used the encryption. So next one is schema binding. Okay, schema binding view. Next example is schema binding view. Example. But before we execute an example on the schema binding view, let us understand what a schema binding view does. Okay. So basically, schema binding view. So here, for creating a schema binding view, we need to follow some rules. That is, schema binding view will not support to store the select query star select operator. It is must that the table name specified in select query should be preceded by schema name. So the advantage of creating a schema binding view is that it will restrict the dropping the base objects. That is the advantage of using the schema binding view. Okay. So it will restrict the dropping of the base object, that is base table. If we have applied schema binding view, if we have created any schema binding view on particular table, then it will restrict to drop the base table associated with that schema binding view. That we have to remember. Okay. So let's create one schema binding view. Create view 21, that is V21 as, again here we have to mention it is schema binding view, that is with, like wherever it is required we have to mention. Like earlier we have seen the check option view, there also we have mentioned with check option, then only it works as a check option view. And in the encryption also we have mentioned it as a with encryption, then only it will be considered as an encryption view. Likewise here also we have to mention with schema binding, okay, with schema binding. Okay, with schema binding. Okay, as select star from EMP1, select star from employee 1. So we have created a schema binding view on the table employee 1, where we are including all the columns of the table employee 1. Let us execute this. Okay, it is throwing the error that incorrect syntax near schema. Create view V10, okay, with schema. Yeah, we have written the correct syntax only. Okay, let's try to create a new query and execute this one. Okay, let us execute this query now. So here we are supposed to execute the schema binding view. Maybe this schema binding view might be require database administration privileges. Due to this, it might not be executed. Okay, let us try to create. Let's give it a preview. Schema binding. Okay. So we need to figure out why exactly it is throwing the error. Maybe there may be some restrictions like database administration restrictions or some other kind of restrictions that is stopping us to create a syntax for schema binding view. Okay. And indexed view. Next is indexed view. So these views will provide the improved performance than the standard views. And these views, when gets created, should be attached with schema binding, and there should be an existing of a clustered index. Okay. So these views will provide their importance, especially when a query contains aggregate functions. If a query contains aggregate functions, it includes following steps for the execution of a query. That is, for example, if we are executing the query, select department number, count star from employee group by department number. So here it checks the syntax, compiles the query, execution plan is generated, and query gets executed. When query gets executed, it takes the rows of a database into buffer, sorts the data, creates a group on each department number. Count function will visit each group to count the number of employees, okay, and then it displays the output. So all these steps are avoided by creating a indexed view. That is the reason why we are using the indexed views. In order to avoid all these steps, we are using the indexed views. Okay. So in this tutorial, in today's tutorial, we have learned about the views. Okay, what are the views, and what are the different types of views that are available in the SQL Server. Okay, and we have executed examples on each and every types of views, and we have seen a lot more examples to understand the fundamentals of the concept views. So that's all for the day. Thank you everyone.